Welcome to the Void Podcast. This podcast is produced by Void LLC and presented by Sean McKnight and Jenny Miller. We hope you enjoy this episode of Void.
Episode 6. During our previous episode, Jonas had a close call on the surface with dangerous winds and a tear in his radiation suit that exposed him to high levels of radiation. Both Jonas and Gerald Daniels were summoned to a council meeting where they were pressured to begin uranium enrichment while being intimidated by their new nemesis, Colonel Mercy Harlow. Nova Bayflower is currently stuck in her home due to a lockdown from a radiation alarm set off in her living area.
Gerald, have you spoken with Nova?
No, I haven't heard from her for a while now. You know, she said something about stopping by the last time we spoke, but I guess she's busy.
If you hear from her, can you let her know that we need to talk?
Yeah, sure. Are you heading out for a meeting with her friend?
Yes, I'm going to pass along our latest findings.
It's good of you to help, Jonas. I know you're not a big fan of the revolt.
No, I'm not, but I'm even less of a fan when it comes to the council.
Yes?
I think you know me and why I'm here. Just open the damn door.
Oh, we know who you are, Dr. Aldridge. It's protocol.
Shove your protocol.
Dr. Aldridge, come in, please. Have a seat.
No, thank you.
It's up to you. What do you have for us?
The usual reports have been sent. Our more pressing concerns, as you'll see with the reports, is actually the wind.
The wind?
Yes, if the council tries to transport their troops, well, if the radiation exposure doesn't kill them, the wind speeds probably will.
I'm not sure why this is of concern to us.
Isn't this the kind of move by the council, something the revolt will try to sabotage?
Possibly, but that particular issue doesn't really pertain to what we're trying to target. We don't meddle with the council's military actions unless we really feel it will be effective.
But the troops are citizens too, aren't they?
Yes, but we don't consider them like the rest of the populace, since they're part of the regime's military.
They're drafted from the populace, mostly against their will. That makes them citizens, doesn't it?
Once they're drafted, they're in the military and out of our jurisdiction.
Oh, I see. So you're a hypocrite, just like the council, and you don't actually care about the populace unless it serves your cause. Is that right?
Look, our resources are limited. We can only dedicate so much...
Save your excuses for someone who buys your bullshit. You're all the same. Council, revolt, doesn't matter. You don't care about the people. You only give a damn about your agenda.
Dr. Aldridge, why do you hate us so much?
Because you're hypocrites and you're liars, just like the people you're supposedly rebelling against.
Seems like a pretty generic excuse.
The way you handled the Mars mission was completely unacceptable.
What do you mean?
If you remember, after the crew from the Mars mission landed, the Council was sending a supply ship to support the surface team. The revolt attacked that ship several times to prevent it from sending those supplies.
Yes, I remember. They were denying supplies to the lower tiers so they can support their cause, and people were starving to death.
And instead of helping the starving people, you attacked the supply ship. Oh, very effective.
We were trying to send a message.
And how did that approach work? Did anyone ever get your message? No. What you really did was delay the ship from going to Mars. When it finally left, it was months behind.
And in the interim, the Council decided to abandon the mission and recall the supply ship back. What's the big deal?
The big deal is that my sister was on that Mars crew and starved to death because the supply ship never made it to them. Both the Council and your revolt abandoned the crew there to die. You both have blood on your hands.
Every mission has collateral damage.
That was a choice. Did you even consider, for once, that you might be affecting the people on that mission? Did you ever consider those people at all?
Sometimes the mission is just the mission.
Your revolt is no different from the Council. You'll use anybody to whatever degree to further your plans. You're just another hypocritical bureaucrat. You might as well have a council seat.
I'm sorry to hear that you feel that way. I hope you'll change your mind someday about our cause.
Oh, I have no trouble with the cause. It's the execution of it I have a problem with.
Is there anything else to report?
No.
I'm following him now. Yes. Inform Colonel Harlow that he was spotted coming out of the suspected terrorist's location. Yes. I will continue to tail him, and I will report any additional activity.
Is she okay?
She sounds rattled because they locked down her sector.
How bad is the radiation?
No idea. She doesn't know.
Well, what was the source?
Well, they don't know that either.
Well, I'm sure they'll send a decontamination team to figure it out.
You know, you should probably head over there and see how she's doing.
Well, if the team is there investigating, I should be able to get at least some answers.
See if you can at least get her out from under that lockdown.
Will do. I'll reach out again after I see her.
Dr. Jonas Aldrich,
Yes?
we need you to come with us.
I'm sorry, fellas, but now is a bad time. I'm on council business.
This is council business.
Hey! What do you think you're doing? Unhand me!
It's a whole lot easier if you just cooperate.
Kiss my ass!
You should really calm down, Dr. Aldrich. After all, Colonel Harlow doesn't like resistance.
Colonel Harlow? You're taking me to Colonel Harlow. For what?
Suspicion of treason.
Even my closest friend, whom I trusted, the one who ate my bread, has lifted his heel against me. Psalm 41:9.
I'm more of a fan of, blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account.
I see you know your Bible verses, Dr. Aldridge.
I grew up with religion as a kid, but it didn't stick.
Another one I'm fond of is, for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth.
Romans 1:18.
Yes. And the truth is what we're here to discuss today, Dr. Aldridge.
And what truth would that be?
The truth of who you were meeting with earlier. Some of my associates spotted you coming out of a place that is known as a den of the revolt.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was in that sector investigating new cracks that have formed on behalf of my colleague, Dr. Gerald Daniels.
It's strange that you had to enter that particular domain.
That's where the complaint came from.
So there was a complaint. Is there a record of this complaint? I'm sure you're aware, by my reputation, that I won't suffer liars.
Are you accusing me of lying?
I'm making sure we're on the same page and that what you're working on is in the best interest of the council and the colony. Meeting with suspected terrorists is something that draws my interest with regards to your intentions. It would be a shame for the council to lose an important advisor such as yourself to banishment because you made poor decisions.
Colonel Harlow, I was there at the behest of my colleague to investigate the structure for the council. As far as who dwells in that location, I have no idea, nor do I care. Is that satisfactory?
For now, we may send our own investigators to inspect the area.
You don't trust me.
I trust your scientific expertise, but you know the old saying, trust, but verify.
I believe the KGB used that expression a lot in the old times of communist Russia.
The council has advised me to keep an eye on you, but to give you some space, so as not to interfere with the work you're doing for them. I follow the orders I'm given, Dr. Aldridge. But if your behavior becomes a threat, those orders will most likely be changed. I'll be submitting the report on my staff's observations, and I'm sure the council will choose the proper approach from there.
Are the sounds I'm hearing in the background, they're part of your approach techniques?
Yes. Yes, they are. The Council affords me the flexibility I need for dealing with less cooperative members of our populace. Sometimes we need information from them. Sometimes it's about rehabilitation.
Well, the rehabilitation methods you're using sound very intensive.
We tend to get the desired result.
May I go now? I have some work I need to get back to.
You may leave, Dr. Aldridge.
Thank you. Good day.
Another of my favorite passages is from Hebrews 13:17. Obey your leaders and submit to them, for they keep watch over your souls as those who will give an account. Let them do this with joy and not with grief, for this would be unprofitable for you. Thoughts and prayers, Dr. Aldridge.
Gentlemen, let's continue with our meeting, shall we? We don't have all day, and we have some wonderful refreshments waiting for us. I believe we have one more order of business. The chair recognizes Council Seat Graham.
Thank you, Council Seat Harris. I'll be brief. As you all know, I've been tasked with addressing our problem on the lower tiers. I wanted to inform you all that our cleansing process has begun, and we're moving along swimmingly.
And how do you propose we move forward?
I've been giving it great consideration, and I think our best approach would be chemical.
Chemical, you say?
I would like to suggest a gas. If a gas is used, it could be pumped through the ventilation system, but still contained once we seal both vents and doors.
Wouldn't a cave-in be a much simpler approach?
That's been discussed, since it's been so effective in the past. However, the fear is that structural integrity of the colony may be compromised, considering the size and the area that would need to be collapsed.
I see.
With gas, the results wouldn't take long, and it's very efficient. It would also be fairly easy to manufacture and distribute.
And what about any blowback from the colony residents?
We're keeping a tight lid on all activities. Only the topmost members of the team know any details. Once the task is performed, they'll be dealt with as well.
Is there a contingency plan should that information leak?
There is. We'll do a preemptive network announcement letting the residents know that we've discovered an outbreak of the virus thought eradicated long ago, and that we, the council, have heroically ensured that the virus is now going to be destroyed once and for all.
And the council's always doing what is required to secure the safety of the colony, no matter the cost.
Exactly.
Very good. What would be required to get started?
We would need to discuss the logistics with those scientists we have working on the uranium. Can we trust them to keep their mouths shut?
They don't need to know the details of what we need the gas for. They'll do as they're told. Once the gas is deployed, what about the cleanup afterwards?
Once we seal off the area for good, we're guessing that much of what's left will take care of itself.
Meaning?
Meaning, there are numerous, let's say, species that will need a source of food, which makes for a very effective way of removing the remains.
Well, you sound like you have the matter well at hand, Council Seat Graham. Thank you for your report.
Thank you, Council Seat Harris. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, excellent. Now, speaking of food, if there's no further business, we'll adjourn and get some refreshments. I am starving.
Alert. This sector is in lockdown due to above normal radiation levels. A council containment team has been dispatched to your sector. Please remain in your residence until further notice. Another update will be announced when available. The council thanks you for your cooperation and sends thoughts and prayers.
Remain in our residence. Like, I have a choice. I just wish they'd at least shut off that goddamn alarm. Well, at least you're not scared, are you, Bella? Bella! Get back here, scaredy cat. Look, it's just someone at the door. Yes?
Miss Bayflower, we're making our sweep for the source of the radiation alarm, and the meters have brought us here.
And
we'd like to come inside your residence to determine where the problem is. We fear there may be a leak in your residence.
Wait, are you saying my home is contaminated?
We're not sure, madam. We'd just like to find the source of the problem first. You may be in danger from the levels, and we may need to evacuate you as well as others in the sector.
Shit.
May we please come in?
Sure, you have the key to the lock anyway.
Yes, we do. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Bayflower. We'll make sure we include that in our report to the council.
Great.
We'll conduct a sweep of your place here. Please stand aside. And we'll do this as quickly as we can.
Have you checked other residences?
A few. Unfortunately, they were on either side of you.
How bad is it?
The levels aren't lethal from what we're seeing so far, but they're definitely higher in here. Hey, over. Check over in that room, please.
Okay, but just be careful not to freak out my kitty. Oh, there you are, Vala. It's okay, honey, I got you.
Actually, it's not okay, Miss Bayflower.
Why?
I'm afraid your cat is a source of the radiation.
Yeah, right. That's not even funny.
I'm sorry to say I'm not joking. Has your cat ever gotten out onto the surface?
Yeah, well, she sneaks out of here once in a while, but she just goes out to hunt for mice for a little bit, but then she comes back.
Unfortunately, she's become irradiated.
What does that mean?
It means we have to destroy her, Miss Bayflower.
Bullshit!
We don't have any choice, for your safety's sake and for the safety of the colony. Any animal, pets, or livestock that becomes infected with radiation has to be put down and properly disposed of.
No, you are not going to touch
her! I'm afraid
her.
it's council law. We have no other choice.
No, you're going to get out
Please
of here. Please
cooperate,
Miss
Bayflower.
No.
Gentlemen, do your duty.
You let go of me, now!
We're just doing our jobs, Miss Bayflower.
You can go to hell is what you can do.
Okay, we're done here. Let's go.
No, you bastards! No!
Alert. This sector is no longer in lockdown. The source of the radiation has been eradicated, and levels have been restored to safe levels. You may resume normal activities. The Council thanks you for your cooperation and sends thoughts and prayers.
This episode of Void featured the voice talents of Ella Demby as Strata, Jason Hefner as Revolt Member Number 1, Frank Juchnowitz as the narrator, Scott Langdon as Alton Fisk, Norma Chera as Council Seat Harris, Sean McKnight as Jonas Aldridge, Jenny Miller as Nova Bayflower, Victoria Stevens as Council Containment Team Member Number 1, Mike Sutton as Gerald Daniels, Amy Teresa as Mercy Harlow, and John E. Vitale as Council Seat Graham and Security Force Member Number 1. The Void theme song, Equilibrium in Turbulence, was composed and produced by David Parsons from Avid Wolf Music. If you'd like to learn more about our podcast, please visit our website at void-podcast.com.